Hi, everybody. You're watching The Sit Down. I'm DJ Sixsmith. Jen Padalecki is here with us. Walker coming to CW. Jen, really nice to meet you. How are you?
Nice to meet you too. I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm great. We got a lot of good things going on. It's a new day in America. The inauguration is here. And also, we have Walker. And people obviously know Walker, Texas Ranger. And this will be a big show for you. So, what was it like when you got the news that you'd be a part of this one?
This was actually a very special moment for me because I was actually celebrating my 10th wedding anniversary with my husband. We were on a ski trip getaway and celebrating, and we were at dinner, and my husband's phone kept ringing. And I could see he was kind of toying, like, do I answer it? And it kept ringing, and he's like, I got to take this call because it was Anna Fricke, the showrunner and co-creator. And so he stepped outside and he comes back in and he's kind of pensive and he says, I have to ask you a question. Anna has a suggestion and she's wondering if you'd want to play my wife on Walker. And it was kind of like this, like, what? Are you kidding? This like crazy moment. And so for me, it was like a really surreal moment to be able to say yes 10 years later, say yes to a whole new adventure. So it was really cool and exciting to learn that I was going to be part of it.
It's really awesome how it worked out like that. So, you hear the news, that's one thing. To actually do it is a whole nother thing. So, what were some of the coolest parts of the experience?
Being on the show so far,
Yeah.
I really enjoy working with my husband. We really work well together. That's how we met. We met on Supernatural working together, and we're both sort of A-type personalities and really enjoy working and riffing off of each other. And unfortunately for our family, it doesn't necessarily end when we walk through the door. Um, so for me, it's a great way for us to kind of let the world go when we work together and really kind of get lost in these moments and forget the world around us. So for me, that's what's really fun about it, is that it's not Jen and Jared getting together and playing husband and wife. It's Emily and Cordell Walker getting together and creating this world, and that for me is so much fun. And to be able to let loose and act again with someone that I feel so comfortable with is really a cool moment.
What was most important for you with Emily Walker? What did you really want to hit here with this role?
I wanted her to be different than myself. I didn't want people to read into it and think, oh, that's Jen and that's Jared. I really wanted to create a different world for her. These are different relationships, different children, a different husband in a weird way. So I really wanted to create a world around her. She's sort of living in Walker's head. And so as the audience is watching this, it's really from his perspective. And so you don't really know if that's how it actually went down, I suppose. And so I really wanted to just create this world, and she's sort of an altruistic kind of, for the better of humanity kind of person, and sort of create this like fun, carefree, spirited human, and just make it really different. And sometimes I think I'm a little bit more cautious, and so I just wanted to make her a little bit more wild and fun and free.
It's nice to have that freedom, right? You're one way in real life, and it's like, oh, I could be this totally different
Yeah,
person for however long I want to be here.
exactly. It's a little bit safer somehow, I guess. There's no real consequences to it. So.
So, you mentioned Supernatural before, and that was obviously a big part of your career. What were you most proud of with that experience?
Gosh, there's a lot of things that I'm proud of with that experience. For me, watching my husband create a show for 15 years, create Sam Winchester and play Sam Winchester for 15 years is pretty wild and surreal in itself. I mean, it's pretty iconic now, and it's on, in every country almost. And so I'm just so proud of him and what he's created, and with the whole Supernatural family and Jensen and everyone else. It's really wild. I'm proud of myself stepping into that role, because I was just this young kid who had no idea what she was doing, and stepping into a role that was so outside myself and outside of my wheelhouse and comfort zone. And to play that and then be able to come back multiple times and be accepted by the fandom and play it and have so much fun. So I'm really proud, and I'm proud of the family. I'm really, honestly, I'm just so excited and so proud of the family that's come out of that show.
You are somebody that spent some time at NYU before you got going with all this. So, paint the picture for me. When you're a student there, what were you anticipating for your career? What were you hoping to do while you were just studying what it meant to be a theater kid at that point?
Oh gosh, well, I mean, it went from be a tree, and I can still remember acting out, being a tree or pantomiming, petting a dog, at Stella Adler, to, just wanting this career so badly. We used to do these vocal exercises, and you would say ha to sort of center yourself. I know it's a terrible noise. But it's to sort of root yourself and root your voice. And I remember just doing these ha's to the ceiling. We'd lay down like you're in yoga or meditating or something and do these ha's and these intentions. And I would just do it over and over again and just vision, just working somewhere, anywhere, just on set and on camera. And I don't know if it was the visualization or just like the luck or whatever, but it happened really quickly. And I couldn't be more grateful for this crazy wild ride. It's been so fun and so fulfilling.
Yeah, and you're really just getting going with it. There's obviously so much room to grow. So what are some other things you'd still like to do?
There's a lot of things. This last few years for me has been a real big growth for me. Jared and I got married almost 11 years ago and then had 3 kids. And I sort of I took off for a long time from work. And I've recently started a blog just, for fun and try to be creative. And through that, I really sort of honed in on what I want to do and what's special and what's important to me, what I want to give back into the world. And a lot of that has just been hanging out with my family and observing and really getting in tune with what our value system is. And a lot of that for me is environmentalism, and not in the hippy dippy way at all, but just in the full scope picture, big picture kind of thing. And so I'm launching a new company called Town, and it stands for Take Only What We Need. And it's sort of a whole catch-all and the big picture of not necessarily environmentalism, but just living a more sustainable life and putting the oxygen mask on first. What's sustaining us? What are those things that sustain us, so that then we can sustain this planet and this world and do it in the way that works best for you? Because we're all different, and it doesn't work for someone to give up everything and be a vegan, and it doesn't work for someone to just go out and hunt their food. So we really want to capture the whole spectrum and find different ways in which we can teach each other and learn from each other on how we can be more well-rounded for this planet and for ourselves. So,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
super.
of course, maybe a little more acting too.
Yeah, it's super important to be aware of, and definitely something that I hope is more of a priority going forward. And I really appreciate you speaking on it. So, Jen, really nice to meet you. Thanks so much, and looking forward to this one.
Thank you so much.